upon every man, woman, and child in this country right now. Common Core is this extreme, and I assure you that I will rise to this extremity. Parents will rise to this extremity, as is evident across our nation, within the state of Connecticut, and on the legislative lawn right now. The Common Core tests are the PARCC and SBAC. The latter is used in Connecticut. I have provided to you today written testimony from Dr. Gary Thompson, clinical psychologist of the Early Life Child Psychology and Education Center. He is an expert in psychological and educational assessments and testing, and the Privacy Act surrounding these tests in both private and educational settings. In his testimony, he cites the February 2013 report from the U.S. Department of Education. Common Core standards will authorize the use of testing instruments which will measure attributes, dispositions, social skills, attitudes, and interpersonal resources. He states that the level of information these provide about a particular child is both highly sensitive and extremely personal in nature. In a clinical setting, these mental health records are strictly prohibited by multiple federal, state, and professional association regulations, including HIPAA. You are using our tax dollars to administer psychological assessments to our children without telling parents and without obtaining our written permission. Then, because Common Core provisions have granted HIPAA waivers, our children's highly sensitive and extremely personal information is not protected. It is uploaded into the SLDS, it is shared federally, and then due to recent changes in the FERPA laws, it is available to third parties. In recent testimony to the Wisconsin legislator, the Common Core culture and testing have been called cognitive child abuse. I have opted out. I promptly received a letter stating that the tests are mandatory and I was violating the law. Here's why. Connecticut, entitled the Connecticut State Department of Education's Suggested Protocol for Addressing Parent Requests to Opt Out. It suggests that when a parent opts out of testing, the school district is to respond with a written letter stating the tests are mandatory and the parents are violating the law. This is to happen 4 times before they allow the child to forego the test. This suggested protocol is exactly what happened to me and is currently in store for every parent in Connecticut. This is intimidation, it is a lie, and it is illegal. The U.S. Congress...
Ms. Hill, you are at the end of your time. If you would wrap up, please.
I will, thank you.
Thank you.
In Title 20, it states that parents have the primary responsibility for the education of their child, and that the states, localities, and private institutions have the primary responsibility for supporting the parental role. You have the primary responsibility to support me. And this is the terminal point, the line upon which you and the Common Core may not cross. Effective immediately, I am publicly calling on you, our public servants, to take corrective actions by making that document obsolete and consistent with the recommendations I have provided to you regarding Common Core as a whole and the tests. You are to tell parents exactly what information is being collected on their children, exactly where it goes, and exactly who has access to it and for what purpose, and to obtain our written permission. Until that is done, I am publicly demanding that the test be recognized as illegal and unethical, and as such, funding of the Common Core testing is to be halted. Furthermore, for the Connecticut State Board of Education to rescind its adoption of Common Core, and as the residing body over the Connecticut State Department of Education, it is within your right and legal obligation to do this. And anything short of this is misuse of public and government funds and subject to a formal investigation. I'm almost done. In the interim,
we have others who have signed up to speak.
I am the parent. Under the U.S. Congress and consistently upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court, I, the parent, have the primary responsibility for the education of my children, consistent with these inalienable rights, and by the authority invested in me by God as the parent of my children. I do not give consent for my children to participate in Common Core and the Common Core test. Thank you.